So welcome everyone to our week 4 of the Yes, You Own It series, where we are walking in confidence and in gratitude. I also want to thank the Columbus Urban League as well as the Minority Business Assistance Centers for allowing me to come and just share this helpful information with such amazing, talented business owners. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. So what is sorry, not sorry? So when we're learning how to build, keep, and redefine confidence, a lot of people apologize and they say that they're sorry. So as soon as a person makes a mistake or feels fear, they often say that they're sorry and they apologize because they feel like they've done something wrong. However, in this series, we want you to learn to be confident in who you are and what you offer to your clients. So in order to move forward in business and just being a leader in general, we have to learn how to stand firm in what we believe in. So this isn't about being mean, loud, rude, or abrasive. It's about being and walking in confidence. Some of the building blocks for #sorry, not sorry is walking in confidence, being authentic and transparent, personally and through your business, and showing gratitude. Has anyone ever had an elevator speech and it either went really, really good or really, really bad?
Dr. Demons, my tagline from my book, I wrote a book called The Death of a Lie, and I also created an empowerment program based off The Death of a Lie. And my tagline is, what lies have to die so that you can live? And so I played on, of course, the name of the book, the empowerment program, but also challenges someone to think about their own lives, and are there things in their lives that they need to get rid of so that they can truly be their most authentic self.
Yes, and that's so true. You have to be your authentic self, and it has to show through your tagline. Also, the call to action is probably the most important part of the elevator speech, because it's how you are going to continue your relationship with your client. So not only is it going to generate revenue for your client, but that prospective client might network with someone else that may also want to work with you. So just networking, word of mouth, helping to get the word out for your business. So this is why the call to action is so important. All right, so we are going to move on to our next topic. So our next activity is a perception is reality self-assessment. So this is a table that you see, and this table has 4 different categories. So there's confidence, arrogance, humility, and imposter syndrome. So certain traits for confidence are that you're not easily offended, that you're speaking with authority, and that you're celebrating others, and that you're not being indecisive. Certain traits for arrogance are being more controlling than you are helpful, forcing your responsibilities to others, blaming others, bragging on yourself without acknowledging anyone else's accomplishments. Humility is something that we also spoke about in week 2, but it's a strength that is, when used properly, is acting in the best interest of others. Is when you're being of service and acting of service to others and taking responsibility. And this last one is a big one. So this one is imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is the experience of feeling like a phony. It is when you feel as though at any moment you're going to be found out as a fraud, like you don't belong where you are, or like you only got to where you are through dumb luck, like just through pure luck. You also doing too much because you don't believe in your worth, or that your value isn't good enough. So imposter syndrome is something that every business owner, especially minority business, small business owner, deals with. So some of the common signs of imposter syndrome is an inability to realistically assess your competence and skills, attributing your success to external factors, berating your performance, fear that you won't live up to your expectations, overachieving, sabotaging your own success, self-doubt, or setting very challenging goals and feeling disappointed when you fall short. Also, for some people, Imposter syndrome can also fuel feelings of motivation to achieve. So this usually comes at a cost in the form of constant anxiety. So you might over-prepare or work too much or work much harder than necessary to make sure that nobody finds out that you're a fraud. So within this table, we want each of you all to put in the chat one of these characteristics which you may have experienced within your business as you help develop your business become what it is today. So Tia Johnson said all of the above. Tia, what made you say that?
I've experienced them all. I think I started this entrepreneurship journey back in 2013, and you feel isolated, like you shouldn't talk about these emotions as an entrepreneur because you, like you say, you might think you're a fraud. You might, people might think you have luck. Like I used to hear, oh, you have a good personality for this, right? Like, and they totally dismiss the hard work and education and everything that took place. So I really I believed in that at some point. So I think all of them resonate because if you are on this road long enough, you're probably going to have to face that. And personal development is probably the best thing that I consider to beat off those things, right? Like keep investing in yourself, keep being amongst the right community, go to therapy, do all the things that you're never going to make them go away, but you can suffocate them.
Okay. That's so good. That's so good, Tia. Thank you so much. All right. So for this table, you want to decide if you're green, yellow, or red. So if you're green, how do you demonstrate your confidence? If you're yellow, what are some of the things that you're going to work on? And if you're red, what's one thing you can commit to growing within this area? So these are just some of the things that you want to do within your self-assessment reflection. So at the end of the day, this all sums up to preparation. The preparation is key. It is essential. It is something that is needed in order for your business or your company to be successful and to thrive. So preparation can move you from feeling apologetic to owning the room, establishing trust, and ultimately sealing the transaction, sale or deal. So be honest and not sorry. You have to stay transparent, and not just transparent with your client. You want to stay transparent with yourself. You want to make sure that you don't put too much on your plate or spread yourself too thin, and you want to know what you can do, as well as not be afraid to ask for help when you need help, because that's a part of being a confident business owner as well. All right, check the chat one more time just to make sure. Okay. You also want to know your worth. So this has come up a lot within this Yes, You Own It series. So knowing your worth is all a part of Yes, You Own It. So this goes back to what we mentioned before. If you can afford to live on the rate that you're charging. So you want to make sure you do your research within the industry. You want to know what your competitors are charging locally, regionally, nationwide. You want to make sure that you don't undersell yourself, because if you undersell yourself, you will end up putting yourself out of business. So you want to make sure that you know your worth. Also, you want to remember that your time is money. It is the one thing that you can never get back. So depending on the product that you sell, you want to make sure that you calculate your planning and your content creation time within your price. So that way your price is not only competitive, but also you get what you deserve as a business owner for your product. So you also want to operate in anticipation and not desperation. So you're not desperate for a sale. Your business is going to thrive whether or not that customer says no to your product. So you want to get excited about what's next and not be so desperate that you settle for less or cut your prices down or have a massive sale to the point where you don't generate any profit. In order for others to believe in you, you must also first believe in yourself. So that's going to take sleepless nights. It's going to take tears. It's going to take questioning whether or not it's for you. But if you believe in your business, your clientele is going to see your belief and they're going to want to invest in that business as well. All right. So before you say I'm sorry, you always want to press pause. And this gives you a second to think about what was said, the interaction, the communication between you and this client. So you want to make sure that you give yourself permission to respond instead of react. So this goes back to our listening skills from last week. So you want to make sure you respond back as a level 3 listener instead of a level 1 listener, where you're not just reacting and talking at your client. You want to give yourself time to think about how you want to respond and how you want to handle any situation that comes up. Also, before you say I'm sorry, you want to make sure you assess the situation. Try to look at it from every aspect. Of course, if you're a business owner, you're going to operate as if you're right? Also, the client or the customer is always right. So you also want to think about it from the customer's viewpoint as well. And you want to assess the situation before you apologize. Before you say I'm sorry, you want to be an advocate for the outcome that you desire. So you can do this by making your value visible. You can let people know how networking with you or buying or supporting your product is important. And that's through speaking elegantly, standing boldly in what you believe in, and letting your authenticity show through your business. So some of the lessons along the way: perception is everything. Preparation is key. Self-awareness is also key. Also, knowing your worth before you walk into that important meeting with a client. Don't just see it differently, you also want to do it differently. So actions speak louder than words. So you can have a client, or there are certain business owners that say they do things, but you actually want to be the business owner that act after you speak and do what you say you're going to do. So you want to give yourself permission to pause and give yourself a chance to think about how you want to respond and how to make effective business decisions for your company. And you also want to be transparent and honest. So transparency and honesty are assets. They are foundational assets as to how you want your company to run. And also you want to stay confident and not be arrogant. So learning how to be sorry, not sorry. And learning how to stand boldly for what you believe in and know what your company represents, and also knowing your worth within your company. Intentionally developing a new level of confidence. So these are 5 traits that can help you to intentionally develop a new level of confidence. So we talked about self-awareness earlier. So just being aware of where you're at in your company. So self-awareness is about knowing your intentions and your values, as well as knowing your personality and what can push your buttons or what can trigger you. These are clear correlations between self-awareness and effective leadership. So developing your self-awareness must be a constant habit. This is something that you're going to learn as you develop as a business owner. So when you're coaching your team or when you're working with your employees, there's a transformation that occurs. You increase the self-awareness about what drives behavior rather than just trying to modify the behavior. Next, we have self-confidence. This comes from knowing your capacity and your strengths. As we take action and develop skills, we become more confident. So often people sabotage their confidence by self-judgment and discounting. Self-leadership is about being grounded and realistic about what you are good at and what needs improving. This also leads to being true and being authentic and showing humility within your business. There's also self-efficacy. So self-efficacy is the belief that whatever comes your way, you can handle it. We can take feedback. We can accept, adjust, and advance. And with self-efficacy, we can be more creative and more innovative. Influence is a result of intentional action. Through self-awareness and self-confidence, we increase our capacity to influence. Because we are grounded within ourselves, we can focus on others and do what's best for them. And lastly, impact. This is how intention and influence are measured within the world. All right, well, thank you all for joining us on this journey of the Yes, You Own It series. We hope you have learned a lot and walked away with some very positive gems. So please reflect on this next video and we will follow up with final comments.
So I get out my laptop and I do a search for who was president.
Thank you. This was great. I learned a lot.
Era. Have you ever done that? Like you're numbing with TV or a movie, and so when it's over, you just like stay in that space by like learning more about the actors and what's going on. I've been doing this long enough to know that this is like, you're laughing with me, not at me. So I put it in, and Theodore Roosevelt comes up, and a quote comes up. And I read it, and this is what it says. It's a quote from a speech that he gave in the early 1900s at the Sorbonne. And a lot of people call it the Man in the Arena speech. And this is the passage that changes my life. It's not the critic who counts. It's not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done it better. The credit belongs to the person who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred with blood and sweat and dust, who, at the best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who, at worst, if he fails daring greatly.
That video was amazing, right? So she mentioned in the video that it's not about winning or losing, it's about showing up and being seen. So as long as you're there, like being a business owner, it takes so much to be a business owner. And there are certain individuals and other people who say what they're going to do, and then they never live up to it, or they never get a chance to follow through with what they say. Congratulate yourself and pat yourself on the back for being a business owner and showing up and taking the step out on faith and sacrificing and stepping up for what you want for not only your business and your family, but for you. This is what you want for you. So as we recap, we want you to take away, and we want to know your takeaways and what you got from this Yes, You Own It series.
Fantastic. Dr. Demmons, I can't say thank you enough. I know that everyone here has much that they have to take away from this 4 weeks of sessions that we've had with you. And definitely want to give opportunity also now to Dr. Eric and Philippia Charlton to also give their remarks at this time. And then we'll close you out. Thank you.
We want to say thank you to Jesse for having us. We want to say thank you to Sharon for working with us to put this together, even through COVID. And we're just grateful for everyone here. And we hope that you were able to take something away from this. One of the things that you will notice, this is original content that we created. This is not content that we found. And so it's a blessing to be able to share it, and prayerfully that it was impactful to you to help you continue to grow into who you were called to be.
And we have so many more course offerings that was sent to Sharon and also the NBAC as well. So hopefully that information will get passed out, but we have wellness and leadership course offerings in various areas. So we thank you tremendously. I love the man in the arena. You know, all of your business owners are like gladiators. And we just hope you found the information valuable.
And thank you, Dr. Demmons. Fabulous job. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's truly been an honor.